Hey there, Internet. Today is Friday, December the 15th. 7 more shopping days till Christmas. Technically, 6 if you're going to be a jerk and go out and buy your gifts on Christmas Day. Someone's been asking, actually, you know what? Let me give you a quick little update. Once again, I'm sick. The daughter has what is commonly called daycare disease, which means essentially that when she goes to daycare, she gets to catch what everybody else has, and then she brings it home here. And then as a result, we get sick. So Juno, honey, I love you, but quit bringing that shit home. So yeah, I've not been in the mood. I haven't just had enough time either to make any videos. Quick little update though on the past video though. I want to do it in two parts. The first part I'm happy with, and essentially what the first part is a resource guide. You've got books, videos, places to go online, things like that to learn and improve your past. And then the second part was the actual like little details, tips, tricks, things like that to actually improve the pass. Now, the first part, like I said, I'm happy with. The second part, because I have a tendency to ramble, I'm thoroughly unhappy with. I must have filmed it like 10 times, and each time I watch it, I amaze myself by how much I stray off topic. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I think what I need to do is I need to like develop some sort of script or something like that so I can follow it and actually make sure that everything stays on topic, stays on track, and then that way you get what you want. Now I'm just really going to quickly go over some other things people have been asking about cards. What cards do I like best? What cards do I prefer? Now essentially, because I prefer the card magic, cards are a tool that they're important. You need good quality cards, for good quality magic. You can't be using those, the cards you get at Walmart that got ducks on the back swimming down a stream. Like those, you can't use those unless you have a specific reason for it. But they really don't have a place in Magic in general. What I will do is I'll just go quickly over some of the cards that I have. I don't have favorites in that I stick with a particular type, brand, or style. I use what best suits me, and I use what is more compatible with everything else I use as well. Essentially, you know what? I don't even have one here with me, but you know what? It doesn't matter. I was going to show you the Red Masters. I use the Red Masters constantly, not because I prefer the Red Masters because of the thicker stock, the feel, or anything like that. Well, I do like the thicker stock. I'm sorry, I lied. But I primarily use the Red Masters because all my gaffs that I use on a regular basis are the Redback bike stock. So it's either the Red Masters or just red bikes that I'm going to use constantly. Like I'm not going to use the Tigers if my gaffs aren't available for them. And I do realize that I wouldn't say that's limiting, but because some of the things that I like to perform that are gaff tricks only are available right now for me with the Redbacks, that's all I'm going to use. So they're the workhorse, and I'm sure you've seen all the bikes I have on my shelves. I got lots, so I rip them, I tear them, I write on them. It's it's the workhorse. It's what I use day in, day out when I'm performing. My favorite deck, though, I will say this, is I'm going to have to open this one, is the Bicycle Ghost deck. And I like it because, one simple reason. It's a very clean design. And by clean design, I mean it's not cluttered, it's easy on the eyes. And you will note that I said, in my thoughts on black decks before, that there are some limitations when you're performing with a black deck in a dark environment. They're hard to see. The Tigers, though, are nice and easy to see. Let me just get in real close here. And I'm sure if you're following me, you're all familiar with the Tigers. It's nice, clean, crisp design. Like there's nothing special about them. They've got the same thick stock feel that I like for the Masters, the Tigers, the Shadow Masters, all those decks. And they, because they have that particular finish, they fan really nicely as well. So and of course, like with time, they get dirty. They don't fan so nicely. But what can you do about that? So right now, the bikes are still the cards I prefer the most because they're so clean and simple. The Arcanes, though, very close second. This deck has been in use since, this is actually the first white deck that I opened. I showed you in my my review video, and it still fans like butter. Now, mind you, I haven't really performed much with this. I break it out for the occasional trick, but it's a nice deck. The paper's a little thinner because it uses a different stock, Bicycle's new stock. So there's a slightly different feel to it. However, the cards just, again, they look nice. I like the way these cards look. And that goes, again, the same with the black arcanes. Again, I don't use the black decks when I'm performing in dark areas because it's hard to see, but they are a nice card. I like these cards. The Tigers, I like the Tigers. There's nothing absolutely wrong with them. Shadow Masters, Black Ghosts. I like all those cards. Lee Asher's got his own cards out, the Fourniers. They have a smoother finish on them, not the bicycle finish that you're used to. So it takes a little while to break those in. You actually have to break them in really, really hard in order to make them usable. In a way that is similar to the bikes, that is. If you fan a pack of those right out of the box, they're going to stick because like there's no air cushion in there. So you've got to create a little bit of a working in for those cards in order to use them. Now, my thoughts on the cards though is this: use the card you want to use. If you like the way the cards look, then go ahead and use those. If you like the Theory 11 cards, if you like the Illusionist cards, if you like playing cards, tally-hos, like if you like any deck, go ahead and use it. Don't use a deck specifically. Don't buy into the theory that my deck is the deck you have to do Magic with because it's the coolest deck. No, the deck you have to do Magic with is the one that you like the most. I don't buy into the theory that like decks with special backs like this are trick decks. I'm sure you've heard me say that before. I just don't buy it. I'm sorry. So like decks with the interesting designs, they actually, in my opinion, I think they get people to pay more attention. They actually get them to look a little bit harder at the cards because there's this, there is a little bit of similarity in what they see on the front, but the backs are a little different. So they, ooh, that's nice. So it's really a personal choice. The decks are an entirely personal choice. If you want to use the $10 Fourniers, go ahead and use those. If you want to use the, I think like the $3.99 Ghosts, go ahead and use those. It's not really, it's not a choice that is up for someone like me or someone else to make for you. It's a choice that you have to make for yourself. Like I said, I prefer the Ghosts and the red backs myself. I've got my reasons, which I've already outlined. Now, I've always got one or two of those packs in my pocket. Sometimes I go to the house with like a black deck. It doesn't matter to me, but I always perform with a particular deck because it's what I feel comfortable with. It suits the environment that I'm using, and it suits the other tools that I'm using as well, my GAF decks and other special cards that I'm going to be using. And that's really what you have to pay attention to, is use the deck that you're comfortable with, that you like using, and that you have that suits everything else that you've used. If you need to create some GAF cards, and you know how to, then like use your favorite deck, make your GAF cards, and then there you go. You've got the deck to work with. But I'm not going to go out there and say that these are the cards you should use. All of Illusionist decks have the same feel. They have the same quality. They all are similar in the way they handle. And from what I've handled from Theory 11's decks, it's the same way. Bicycle has a very rigid quality control process. Sometimes some decks slip through the process, and that's mostly because of the cut, not because of the feel. So any card, almost any card that's printed by USPC is going to have the same feel no matter where you buy that deck from. So whether it's Theory 11, Penguin, us, Walmart, Zellers, they're all going to have the similar feel. And that's one of the things that magicians really need, is consistency. So I can go to Walmart, pick up a deck of bikes, I can buy a deck of bikes from Penguin, I can buy a deck of bikes from Illusionist, and they're all going to have the same consistency and feel, and that's what's more important than the design. So just keep that in mind when you're shopping for decks. It's a highly personal choice. Just remember that Magic is fun. Go out there and have fun. Use the funny deck if you want. Don't use the funny deck if you don't want. I'm not going to preach to you or anything like that. But just remember that this is about you. It's not about what he says you should be doing. So just keep in mind that as you're performing with your tricks and stuff like that, your decks, what you're presenting should be an extension of you. So if you want to be like the serious guy, then stick with the normal stuff. If you want to be the offbeat guy, the guy who just likes doing something differently for a change, then you know where to go. So on that note, I'm going to let you guys go. I'll try and post more during the holidays. I'm not sure if I'll be able to or not, but I'll do my best. And again, I hope I can't get rid of this cold. It's absolutely killing me. So if I don't talk to you before then, guys, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.